mining and data warehousing. Module 2. Now, we are going to see about the application techniques of data mining. In this module, we are going to abbreviate about the different techniques available in data mining and where we can apply all these data minings and data pre-processing. Data characterization and discrimination is the first technique we are utilized. The characterization is nothing but combining all the general features of a data in the database. So, the data which will be combined through on a specific task or the query given by the user. The output of these data queries are maybe it will be presented in various forms, the visualization forms, either the line graph or the bar graph or bar chart or box plots will be used to make the presentation to be neat and readable. And next technique is discrimination, where the discrimination is nothing but a comparison between the general features of a targeted class and it has to be differentiated with one or two contrasting classes. These target and contrasting classes can be specified by the user and the corresponding data objects is also be retrieved through some queries, and these data will be used for a data analysis process. Techniques 2. Association and correlation. The frequent patterns suggest that the patterns that occur frequently in data set. For example, when you go for buy a departmental store to buy something, then the purchase of items will be the combination of items. For example, milk, bread, egg, butter will be the frequent item when we analyze the baskets. Or otherwise, the another example will be when we buy a laptop, we used to buy along with an antivirus software or a printer. So, this combination may also occur in basket. So, there are many different kind of frequent patterns and which is being called as in a frequent item set, frequent subsequences or substructures will be available in every market basket. The frequent item set typically refers to the set of items often appeared together in the transactional data set. The association analysis will be the fundamental techniques in data mining used to discover the relationship between the items and the correlation of buying these two elements or these two elements or coffee with sugar or coffee with milk. All these items are available, the relationship is available or correlated with each other in different large data sets. The next thing is market basket analysis. You see that in this figure we have n number of products will be available in the big markets like DMart or any Mega Mart. Many items, more than 1000 number of items will be placed in the market, but the customer is going to be buy the products, they are buying a different items together. When we see these baskets, a tomato, banana, egg as well as onion will be buying together. So, this will be an interesting pattern which will have an to promote an business in the arrangements, shelf arrangement, market basket analysis. The buying pattern of the customer is usually be identified through this association and correlation when we do the analysis of these baskets. Next is rule mining, that is your data mining techniques will be availed there. How the association rule, finding this interesting association or a relationship among all these item data sets. For example, when we identified a combination of the frequent item set in the market basket will be that those who are buying the milk, bread, egg, butter will be buying together in each and every transaction. Here we are specifying that the rule is specified when the person is buying a milk, bread and egg is also available in this basket. with the support as well as a confidence factor. So, whenever the rule is going to be framed, the support and confidence must be available in order to strengthen this rule. The interesting measures is being identified by the support and confidence only. Here the support is nothing but the frequency of an item set appearing in the data set, that is milk, how many times the milk is repeated, and confidence is nothing but how often the items are being repeated in the basket, which will be used for our occurrences of the incidents. For example, milk and bread, which will be occurred in how many transactions. This will have a confidence measure, and these two measures make this rule will be strengthened. And next technique is classification and regression. This is another interesting method where we have to derive a model or a function which describes and distinguish between the different classes and concepts. The model are derived based on the analysis of data. So, the database is, you consider this diagram, here there is a huge set of balls are available with different colors. When we applying the model for finding this classification, and this balls will be classified into the all yellow play pen and green play pen balls, blue play pen balls and orange play pen balls. So, this is what a classified set of items from this huge play pen group of play pen balls. And you consider this is an analysis of data, and the model has to be trained, and this model will be able to segregate the colors based on the class label. So, here we know that a class label is known, which means that yellow color balls, green color balls, green color is a label, blue color is a label, and orange play pen is a label. So, based on the label, the colors are being classified, known class labels are classified, and this going to be considered as an supervised learning, where the model is also used to predict the class label for the group of items which is also not known, and this training data set where your class labels are known, where this yellow, red, green, all these things will be known class labels, and some of the model which will have to do the process, derive it, and the class label will be named, and this is what the classification method technique is concerned. And next method is a regression, and this is also the method to predict the class labels, and this predictions will be either the numeric predictions and the class label prediction. The regression analysis is a statistical methodology which most often used for a numeric prediction, and regression which encompasses identification of distribution of trends based on the available data. See this diagram, these diagrams which describe that where the area in square feet and rent in thousands, and where these data objects are plotted into in different places, and the rent based on the area, where we can arrive one conclusion that the common lane which specifies that a class label, for example, if you have an 3000 square feet of area is available for the rent, and the rent could be either $450 or $550. So, this is what we can able to do the prediction with the help of the data set. And here also is another example for the linear regression, where the rainfall and the umbrella sold will be used there. So, how many umbrellas are sold? So, based on the rainfall. So, this red line which specifies that the median line to predict the number of umbrella sold with the rainfall ratio. So, this is what we called as a numeric prediction, which has been highly useful in research progress. And the next technique is a cluster and outlier analysis. This is an important technique where your data is not going to be accurate or dirty is being involved into the database, then this is the best method. The cluster based analysis can be done. The cluster analysis or clustering is a technique used in data mining where we group the similar data objects together and which forms the clusters. For example, we have the data objects which is being plotted into the graph. So, these are all the data objects can be extracted from your database. We are applying the clustering technique on these original data which gives the clustered data where we are grouping it based on the distance as well as their characteristics shared by these data objects. We have a red group, green group and blue group, and this is what we are doing this cluster where we can eliminate the dirtiness available in these data sets. And the next famous method is an outlier analysis, where the outlier analysis is used for anomaly detection, that is the fraud detection or identifying the peculiar items which will be used by means of the outlier analysis. The data points are being plotted there, all these data points which falls into the same category, and some of the data objects will be plotted into outside these categories and which will be called as an outlier, and where the rare events or a novel information or some of an errors or some of the fraud elements which can be identified when we plot it into the group, and this is called as an outlier analysis. The next thing is an applications of data mining. The first application is an astronomy. This is a famous Indian knowledge system in our Indian knowledge thing. So, where the Indian knowledge system astronomy is the major part which we have, the multiple number of the huge number of data are generated through astronomy. For example, our astronomers is producing the huge number of data. Interesting patterns are being created by the astronomers because they are being using it the planet position as well as the stars as well as the movement of the stars will be considered. So, each and every day and night the huge number of data the astronomers is produced. These data will be collected and based on the classification techniques or a decision tree techniques, we are grouping the stars. More than 20 million stars are available, and the astronomers will be classified based on the color of the star. Some stars will be blue in color, some stars will be yellow draft in color, some are white in color, and some planets will have some high intensity. So, all these things will be considered by the astronomers, and based on this astronomers classification, we can able to do the mining process, analysis process. This is our famous Indian knowledge system. And the next application is finance and banking. So, the huge industry which is in finance as well as banking industry, where we need the analysis from our data mining methodologies. This analysis we had to approve the loan applications or the issuance of insurance. For example, if you are applying the insurance, and it has to be categorized into 2 or 3 types. One is the motor insurance or health insurance, or if you want to avail the home loan, and all these applications, a million number of applications are hit into the banking sector, where they have to make a decision. So, the decision making is a tedious process. We have to analyze the different sorts of data, where your credit score is available, where the customer is already availed the loan, and how many car loans they have, and what is the capacity of the customer, repayment of the customer's capacity, these CIBIL score of a customer, these all the things will be analyzed. So, based based on that only we can issue the certificate, insurance certificate, either for motor insurance or health insurance, or approving the banking loan applications. All these things which involve the data mining techniques, where we can approve these applications or not. And this is the huge tedious process which is possible by means of our application. The next thing is a business. So, where the business is also be involved in the huge amount of money, this money will be generated, and to make a profit out of the money, we need to do the analysis process, the data analysis process, which consisting of analyzing your customer buying pattern, capacity of your customer, or you have to identify the next 3 years or next 5 years how many customers are going to buy these products. For example, a car. If a customer wants to buy a car or change their current car, then we have to be analyzing it. The data has to be captured. Through that we can able to promote or open a shop, or produce the more number of cars to satisfy the customer's trend. And not only that, the buying pattern of a customer needs also be identified. For example, shelf arrangement in the market. So, shelf arrangement, we need to put elements, I mean the products which will be in one shelf. For example, a toothbrush and mouthwash as well as paste has to be arranged in one shelf, so that when the customer is buying the toothpaste, then they are tend to use it. The next product, for example a tongue cleaner or mouthwash, will be attracted by them, then they will intended to buy. So, if this shelf arrangement is possible with the help of this application, definitely the business will be success. The next is an advertisement. Advertisement is a targeted advertisement. Here the web process, if you are go through this huge number of videos or advertisement is coming, either the television or with our web applications, where when you interested on seeing that one particular advertisement, or when scrolling the screens, if you hold it for a few minutes for buying a chudidar or a mobile phone, then immediately you will get only these type of advertisement that will hit your phone. So, that is what the targeted advertisements will be possible. So, the targeted advertisement is nothing but the camera. For example, if the 3D camera will be used only for a specific group of people, not by all. So, when the person has been frequently searching for a particular camera, or frequently searching for a particular book or something else, then only that advertisement is going to be hit to their mobile or in other Twitter or something else. So, this is what the tactics to promote the business, and for this we can utilize the decision making system or analysis system with the help of different algorithms available in data mining can be used it. And next application area will be that crime prevention. So, the crime prevention is the huge number of case studies is been analyzed and published in different journals. The crime prevention is an area in which your data mining technique is highly useful. So, where your cyber security is being the main thing, where the cyber fraud will be identified, and public monitoring system, the movement of vehicles, and you can able to find what type of crimes will be available, because each and every crime will have different types. You can identify, you can scan the CCTV cameras and footages, and through which you can able to have a crime person identification will also be possible. And also we can do this prediction model. With this prediction model, you can able to do applying with a case by case basis, the prevention can occur. And the next application area is an education, where education, your data mining application will goes to the dropouts of the students, which has been very concerned about the government as well as the colleges. How many students are dropped out from the education field, and why they are being dropping out, and what are all the other facilities that can be provided to prevent the dropout system from the school or colleges. And that will be another one application area. And the students performance prediction is the prediction model can be applied to that. A specific paper subject like a linear algebra or parallel algorithm paper will be tough for the students. In such a case, you have to analyze the results or the rank of a particular region will be analyzed. Then based on the region, you can predict the how many students are being under the poverty line, how many students are in that particular region is highly gets the scores, and all that will be done with the help of the prediction model. And another is an personalized learning method, where the personalized learning method, the LMS will plays the main role. The text mining can be possible with the personalized learning method, which enhances the students learning performance by means of putting more problems, exercises, or repetition of problems working out to help the students to make a risk analysis to pass the subjects and all that. The course recommendation is the another main thing, where the job opportunities is being high in choosing the particular course. All these things can be mined and recommended for the students to do the work. The next is in a government and public sector. So, in government sector as well as in a public sector, the fraud detection as well as prevention is the major care for the government. And the fraud, which means that where we can have the analyzing the CCTV footage cameras and the preventing the threat which will be given from the public, which is also be used in this application technique. The crime analysis, the rate of the crime, and reducing the crime in the city or the place, the region. The prevention can be taken care by the police to make the peacefulness of an particular area. Public health monitoring is the next major technique, where the health will be identified. For example, our corona period, each and every region is being completely monitored. The affected people are separated and preventing the coronavirus by means of analyzing the areas, as well as we need the monitoring techniques. Next application, the major application area is healthcare professions, where the healthcare professions, the disease diagnosis and prediction will be highly using the data mining techniques. Disease diagnosis is nothing but the symptoms are being listed out and analyzing the symptoms, and for which symptom we have which treatment is being possible for doing the decision making process, and through which the prediction of prevention or medicine suggestion will be given. So, the decision making here, the disease diagnosis is being possible. The next is in a treatment personalization, which means that how long the person has to be stayed in a hospital and how long the medicines is being given to the particular patients, and the side effect of the medicines that are being taken, which can also be analyzed by means of data mining techniques. The drug discovery, which will be the combination of drugs to be suggested for the patients with the help of health condition of patients. The next major area is manufacturing. Here the procurement as well as retaining the procured raw materials in a manufacturing unit will be mined, and it has to be avoid the wastages of the retention of the raw materials. So, predictive maintenance will be possible with the help of analyzing the prediction models. Manufacturing is the next major application areas, where the prediction model will be used to maintain the raw materials and procure the raw materials for doing the manufacturing. Many type of tools will be used for maintaining your raw materials in a industry or organization for good operations. Operational cost can also be reduced. Then quality control is the next area where we can mention the quality of each and every product, the supply chain management, the demand, as well as making the product production, that also be managed with the help of the tools. And the next area is telecommunication. The telecommunication is a huge data generation area where the network optimization which will be needed through this analysis techniques, and customer has to be retained. You have to attract it with the different perks that has to be given, and the fraud deduction that also be analyzed, and it is being applied with the models. And the next major thing is data pre-processing, data cleaning. The data pre-processing is a very important step in the data mining and machine learning, where the pre-processing technique which will be explained in this diagram. The first step is the data has to be cleaned, which means that the data will always be available with inconsistent, missing values, irrelevant, and the data with the different perspectives of data will be available. So, to improve the quality of an data, we have to be removed the dirtiness from this data will be the first step. The purpose is the data quality will be improved, because the data quality will be will provide the quality of a data only which will provide the prediction is in accurate manner. Preparing data for analysis and reduce the complexity and enhance the model performance, we need to do the data pre-processing. The steps of the data pre-processing is, the first step is when the data is being put it into warehouse, it needs to be cleaned. Different methodology that has to be applied for making the data cleaning process. The next step is data integration. The data has to be acquired from the different set of mode, either the data cube or a warehouse or a flat file, that has to be collected together in the warehouse. And next is a data transformation, where we have to collect different forms of data, either from minus to plus or triple digit or double digit data will be there. It has to be transformed into the one particular category, that is we have to divide all these data divided by 100, which will be in specified range, that is called as a data transformation. The next is data reduction. We have n number of data will be available in a table like rows and columns, but we are being very particular about only the specified number of rows and columns. We need not have to worry about the remaining values. So, we have to extract it only the particular set of data for your mining task, which is called as a data reduction. And next method is the data cleaning method, which will be seen that we have already I told you that it is been dirtiness is available in our data. The dirtiness will be in the form of missing the values or replication of any data, and errors may be occur. And if you have all these things, then your quality of any data will be questionable. So, missing values has to be procured and removed from your database. So, for that these techniques can be applied. Ignore the tuple. If you have 1000 number of data, if one data which will have with the missing values, for example phone number missing in the form, then the form can be rejected. And if the missing values are available in particular column, you fill it, try to fill it by manually. And another method is the global constant value will be applied to all the missing values. That will also be one sort of a technique to remove the dirtiness. And central tendency for the particular attribute, either the mean value or median value will be calculated. It has to be applied to all the data in the form in the forms that will be to clean this data. attribute mean or median for all samples belongs to the same class will be given to the tuples, and probable value can also be substituted when the data is missing in the case. And next famous method is the noisy data binning method, where we can apply, see this, the data which contains the list of data 4, 8, 9, 15, 21, 21, 24, 25, 26, 28, 29, 34. So, totally 12 datas are available. The first step is, here this data is in the sequential order, but if the data is in jumbled form, the step 1 is it has to be written into the incremental order. Then we have to segregate these datas into equi-depth bins. That is, we have to divide all these 12 datas into 3 different bins. The bin 1 which contains 4, 8, 9, 15, the first 4 datas. Bin 2 contains the next one 21, 21, 24 and 25, and bin 3 contains 26, 28, 29, 34, and these the data which has to be divided into 3 different bins. Now, we have to remove the noise on these bins. The removing is being done with the help of mean values. Mean value, which means that we have to add this 4 plus 8 plus 9 plus 15 divided by 4 elements, which will give us 9. So, bin 1 which consisting of 9, 9, 9, 9. So, all the buckets which has to be applied with this bin value 999. Like that, in bin 2 also be filled with the values 23, 23, 23 and 23, and bin 3 is also be calculated by means of the same structure 26 plus 28 plus 29 plus 34 divided by 4, which will give the equal values 29, 29, 29. So, this can be applied for removing the noisiness in between this data. Not only this mean value, the another method is bin has to be filled with the help of boundaries. Boundaries, which means that in your original bin 1, 2, 3, we have to fill the boundary values first. In bin 1, we have to fill the first data is with 4 and the fourth data is with 15. Now, we have to compare the first data with the neighboring data is 8. So, 4 difference is 4. So, the nearer is that 4 only. So, the next data has to be filled with 4. Again, we have to compare with this 9 with 4 as well as with 15. So, which is nearer? The 4 is nearer. So, we have to fill the third data with 15. Like that, bin 2 is also be compared, where we are choosing the 21 and the last data 25 will be filled as it is. Then we have to compare, these two are same. So, next element will be 21 and 24 will be chosen, comparing with 21 and 25. The 25 is nearer to 25, the last cell. So, we have to fill this 25 itself. Like that, bin 2 is also be calculated. It will be displayed 26, 26 and 24. The next method is a data cleaning method with the help of regression. Here we can smoothening the data by means of fitting the regression function. Already we seen that we are rainfall with umbrella sold, that will be the that linear regression. With the same type, here also we are doing this regression analysis, regression function, where here is an independent variable and this will be the dependent variable. We have plotted the number of data objects in this plane, where the experience as well as the salary, the data objects are filled, and we have to identify the median value for this salary. So, this line which will provides the linear or linear values which can applied for your data cleaning technique. Even though the salary is varied from one place to other place, this is a median value which can be provided for this dependent and independent variable. This is another data cleaning technique. And the next is an outlier analysis, where outlier analysis is a crucial part of a data analysis, where identifying, understanding the data points, and where the data points is deviated from this majority of data objects are available, and this provide valuable insights for improving the quality of models and identifying the anomalies and interesting phenomena. And next is in a data integration is another important method, where combining the data from different sources into the coherent data set. For example, sales in particular digital shop, where the number of shops will be available in different branches, Gindi branch, KK Nagar, Anna Nagar and Tambaram branch. All these branch they sold the laptops, and the details of the laptop specification will be collected together, and the overall sales report will be created in one place. That is called an integration. After collecting all these things, we have to clean the data, select the data, and cleaned the data will be available in a warehouse and transfer it for the future references. And next is in a data transformation. Here the data mining refers to the process of converting the raw data into the format that is suitable for our analysis as well as in a modeling technique. And data pre-processing, through this transformation we are applying the smoothing technique, aggregation technique, generalization and normalization technique. Smoothing is nothing but binning method, where we are removing the noise from the data set using a specific algorithms, and aggregation is nothing but collecting all the data together to present in the summary format, where the data has to be available to improve the accuracy of a data analysis. Data generalization and normalization, here we have a low level or primitive data are replaced by the high level concept, which is called as concept hierarchies. For example, categories of attributes like street, provenance, region, that has to be categorized into the top level. And similar values for the numerical attributes like age can also be mapped with the higher level concept like youth, middle age or senior citizens. And normalization, which means that we have to normalize the data with the similar range, either -1 to +1 or 0 to 1, like that, which we will do the normalization technique. And reduction, where the reduction technique which will avoid to be stored and processed and analyzed without loss of information. And these are all the data reduction techniques by data cube aggregation or subset selection, and dimensionality reduction and numerosity reduction, discretization and concept hierarchy generation, that will be used to reduce the data, and we can do the analysis process on these techniques to remove the noisiness into the data. And these techniques will be seen in data warehousing module. And the summary, now we are being aware of about the data mining techniques, and where we can apply our data mining techniques and data pre-processing, removing the noisiness into the data with the help of a binning method, we will do it, and the different forms of data pre-processing is being discussed. Thank you. These are